To the Rondo. We're back again, another week of the PL. Another crazy, a couple of crazy headline stories. The biggest being Man United yet again. Another stripping at Old Trafford. It's your boy AA hosting. I'm joined by
Max back in the building.
Raph has just come into the building. 17 minutes late.
Ready. Just like a Bruno Fernandes challenge.
This one there. Cool. And that's actually quite perfect because first on the agenda is Man United versus Spurs and whether Ten Hag should continue in his job. Then we're going to move on to Cole Palmer, 4 goals, made history, the first player in Premier League history to score 4 goals in the first half. Then we're going to do our typical match roundup, talking about the biggest stories of the weekend. And then we're going to finish off with our bonus topic. So let's make a start. And that's why I didn't really want to start without Raf. So it's fantastic that he's come in on time now.
My pleasure.
3-0 to Spurs.
Yes.
Your second 3-0 whitewash at Old Trafford. I mean, if we go through everything that you've been through with Ten Hag, I mean, we'll be here all day. The 7-0 to your rivals at Anfield. Where you lost? You've lost 3-0 to Brighton. 4-0 to Brentford. Bro, it's like the pain just keeps on going on. So before we even get into the game right now, I'm going to ask you, can Ten Hag continue in this job?
Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. I'm still very surprised he's in the job, to be honest. I can't believe he managed to wrangle a contract extension. But nonetheless, here we are. Another shocking showing from United. I think it's what now? 7 wins in our last 29 games. It's sackable form, whichever way you look at it. And you look at this performance, and there's just, for all the talk there's been from United fans about they've seen an improvement this season, it just clearly remains to be seen. I think when you look at the product that's delivered on the pitch, I think we're easily the worst coached team in the league. I think Erik ten Hag is by far the worst coach in the league.
You think he's the worst coach in the league?
Easily. Out of all 20, he's easily the worst. I think you give... It's not funny.
It's pretty damn funny.
It's not funny.
It's pretty damn funny.
It's not funny,
It's pretty damn funny.
No, but genuinely, I think if you give this squad to any of the other 19 managers,
they do better
in the Premier League. They easily get better.
Yeah, probably
out of this side. My main problem with Ten Hag right now is that forget the naivety of the tactical plans. Forget the lack of structure. I don't think he understands football, and I don't think he has an ability to perceive what is happening on the pitch in real time. I think I only tuned in 2 minutes in, which was touch and go. It was, sometimes you think, wow, first 10 minutes is going to be quiet. I was like, whoa.
They don't just score.
I nearly missed the first goal. But even then, I said 2 minutes in, I said, the writing is on the wall.
Yeah.
Very clearly. He's persisting with this kind of man-to-man 4-2-4 pressing structure, which every manager in the league since that City final has found out. So yes, but
there's just such a lack of compactness, isn't there?
I mean, you just leave Mainu and Ugarte there isolated, and any competent manager just puts a 3v2 or 4v2 there, or just gets a player that can drive through, as we saw during the week against FC20, and as we saw today with Van der Ven. It's very easy to get a goal out of us and to disturb our settled shape. And I just don't understand how Ten Hag can watch that goal, and he's watched us concede the exact same goal now in 2 games.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't adjust. He continues to think his tactical plan is correct. And this is genuinely the worst United team I've ever seen in my life.
So let me just come in there. So would you sack him tonight?
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt?
Yeah, quickly. I'll P45.
Who comes in? Said P45. Who comes in?
I think what Ineos have done, they've kind of set it up so that they've got Van Nistelrooy there as a backup plan if they need to go the interim route.
You think he's got the minerals?
I don't know enough. I don't watch the Dutch league. Clearly Eric Ten Hag doesn't watch the Dutch league either.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't even beat his own team. SC20, the other team. Bro, that's the team you watch every week. That's his team. That's like me watching United.
I also don't think he watches it because you look at the players that he's brought over, even across this weekend.
So,
like Ryan Gravenberch, excellent. You know, Kudus has been a revelation in the league. Timber, I watched him for Arsenal. I thought, what a player. He coached all of these players.
He picks the wrong players.
Bro,
And look at the players that he's brought
Anthony,
over.
Lissandro, Mazwari. Oh my God. Oh, not.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. He genuinely chose Anthony for more money than Kudus.
I wanted to touch on
who
that.
are both available in the same window.
I wanted to touch on
I don't
that.
think he knows the game. I don't think he knows the game.
So, and the lack of scrutiny he gets really upsets me because I remember Jose Mourinho, a far more decorated manager than Eric Ten Hag will ever be in his whole career.
Yeah.
I remember the stick that he used to get for the way he used to build the squad at United, which was fair. And the criticism was that he's leaving the squad, and when he leaves, the squad is going to be in a worse place, and the next manager is going to have a tough job.
Yeah.
And you look at the squad that Eric Ten Hag has built, and he's completely decimated the physical floor of this team. For all the talk that Ten Hag wanted to raise the technical level of this team, one that's still yet to be seen. These players that he bought are what I like to call fake technicians. They do a nice couple touches here and there to deceive you, but they actually do nothing. Those players include Mazwari, Lissandro, De Ligt. I wouldn't even put Ugarte on that list because he can't even. He's a nothing player. The fact that we've signed him is a very worrying indictment on how this club is being run.
Who's that?
Even under Ineos Ugarte.
Ugarte.
Very, very.
Yeah, I
bad
just wanted
player.
to just hone in on
Very
that.
bad
Yeah,
football player.
yeah, that was bad, bro.
No, he's
That was bad.
He's one of the worst midfielders I've seen play at United. No, genuinely.
You know what's crazy about Ugarte?
That he has nothing
I
about
didn't
him.
watch their match in the Europa League, but I saw that he released an apology after the game. And I was like, bro, I was
First
like,
game apology.
apologies already. And I also heard that he was bad against Barnsley. I said, you're bad against Barnsley. Apologies already against FC20 at home.
Yeah.
I said, oh, Lord.
It's not good.
I think
It's
it's
not
Oh, Lord, they've messed up again. And I wasn't
No,
surprised.
but do you know what it is? He's got nothing about him. For all the talk before he signed for United, the talk around him was that on the ball he's not that spectacular, but off the ball is kind of where he shines. And even he's got his moments. He will leave you exposed, but you know he's a good tackler. He's got that dog in him, as they like to say. He's worse off the ball than he is on the ball, and that is not me praising his on the ball ability in the
He's
slightest.
just going around
Like, he
taking people out, isn't he?
He runs and he doesn't even run fast. Like, he just runs.
Yeah.
He's shocking.
Max, why don't you?
No, I think it was clear to see what type of midfielder he was, as Raph has just said. But there's certain, basic technical abilities a Premier League midfielder needs to have, and he displayed nothing today. Literally nothing. Whenever he got the ball, like 5-yard pass, just simple. No, no balls to go and split lines or anything like
Drive
that.
with the ball.
Drive with the ball.
He's not good.
And this is what annoys me about the way Ten Hag has built the squad and how he's left it for the next manager, because you've sold a player like McTominay, who, despite what you want to say about him, would do 10 times better of a job in that position than Ugarte has, and has the body of work to prove that. Despite what you may want to say about him. At least he bleeds Man United. He'll die for the club, and he'll score goals, as we've seen him do already in Serie A. We've sold him for 30 million, and we've bought this Chihuahua for 60.
Chihuahua.
He's done irreparable damage to my club, and I can't witness it continue for much longer.
One thing I will say is, listen, and the thing is, Ugarte wasn't good enough today, and many players weren't. But I think it's almost getting a bit tired, kind of getting onto Man United's players, because I look at guys that I know you don't really like Mazraoui that much, but he again was woeful today. I think De Ligt, and listen, they're players that maybe they're not crazy level raising players, but they go into other systems and they will look better. And even the other players at Man United, the Rashfords, the Garnachos, and it's because there's lots of problems for me with United's system. The lack of off the ball, they are one of the worst in the league. The lack of compactness, the spaces. United on a Sunday, forget about your Sunday roast.
No.
They're the food. They're the feast.
Eating.
eating, bro.
Bro, Timo Werner
Spurs have been a
meal.
little.
Yeah.
He went to
Timo Werner was
all you
there.
can eat. All you can eat, bro.
Timo Werner was there looking like Dino out there.
Pouring the gravy.
By the way, that guy still can't finish. I feel like
rubbish.
Spurs,
He's
to be honest, and that was an alarming thing as well. I think for
rubbish.
United, I don't think Spurs were amazing.
No, they were. I don't think they were
I thought
great.
Spurs, if Spurs were really on it, I think they should have won by about 5 or 6.
I think that
Werner
first
missed
half,
a couple.
That was the annoying thing about them is when we actually played a few passes, we actually sized through them quite easily.
You got in.
And that's the annoying thing about
They weren't clinical
United
as well.
under Ten Hag is that's the one he's actually coached a few all right build-up patterns.
Yeah.
But there's two of them, and then the rest of it is. But every facet of play, every player looks worse.
Yeah.
And even from a Glazers and Ineos perspective, it's like every player looks worse. Going back to what you said about the Litmas, right? They're not bad players. These are players that have all come in with decent reputations at least.
Yeah.
We're not Chelsea, you know. We're not captain save a scrub. Like we're not buying these players that are falling on you know bad times and trying to recover them. We're not doing a Sterling or a Sancho here.
Yeah.
We're buying players that have pedigree.
Ineos have bought some young players.
Do you know what I mean? And every single player looks worse, and their reputation is worse, and their transfer value
It's going
decreases.
down, yeah.
So at the end of the day, it comes down to a business decision, surely. And you have to let this guy go.
He does. But we have to move on quite swiftly.
Thank God.
Thanks to Raph. But let's talk a little bit about Spurs. They did win 3-0 today. I think that's a big result for Ange, who had a bit of a tough start. First question is on Ange for you, Max. Do you think this is a bit of a turning point for him? 3-0, away to Old Trafford. You know, he's kind of been under a little bit of criticism. Some people have been bundling him in with Ten Hag. There's clearly a difference. What do you think this result does for him?
No, I actually think Tottenham's performances this season have been a bit under the radar in the sense that they haven't actually got the results that they've obviously wanted so far. Whenever I've watched them, they've looked decent, looked to threat, looked fluid going forward. And there's been a system change for me with Maddison and Kulusevski playing as kind of like 2 8s or 2 number 10s. And I think they're getting the best out of those two. In terms of their attacking options, that was always a question mark for me. Brennan Johnson, Timo Werner, I just look at them, not enough for me. But Brennan Johnson's got 4 goals in 4 games, so he's coming good now. I think Solanke's doing well as well. So I think Postecoglou is on the way up. And listen, I think anyone who was saying his job was at risk, not for me. I think give him at least this season.
Yeah, I think Ange deserves time. They have a clear system. They have a style of play. Going forward, they've got things that you can look forward to. Going forward, I think they're excellent. I don't think they've, like you said, I think they've been a bit unlucky in games. I do think defensively in game management, he does have to evolve in that area. I do have to say, but there's a lot to hold on to there. And I just want to talk on to Brennan Johnson. You sort of spoke down on him there, but you know, the guy, he got a goal and assist today. As you said, 4 goals in his last 4. You could see that he was quite hurt after the Arsenal game. He sort of deactivated the old Insta, a little bit of a social media blackout for me. For me, sometimes I have my thoughts on that, but I'm gonna keep it woke. I'm gonna keep it, you know, I'm gonna keep it nice. Does he deserve a bit of respect on his name? Does he have something that he can add?
It's only 4 games. You need to remember that. I think since he joined Spurs, he hasn't been good enough, and he did cost 50 million. And
Yeah, but you can't blame him for that.
no.
I mean, that's his fee, though. You can't blame him, but we have to judge him by it.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. I made a video.
I believe in that. I don't believe in this it's not his. Yeah, that's what they paid.
I made a video after the Arsenal game. I made a video calling him trash, calling him arse cheat. And I think a lot of people do. Actually, Spurs fans, I don't think they
don't really rate him
that much. But you know, he's come quite good. All of his finishes are quite similar, sort of in that obviously right sort of forehand area, cross goal.
Yeah.
Scored a tap in today. Makes some dangerous runs, but I just think they overpaid for him. And if he's going to be, you know, a main part in their front three, I do think that'll hold them back a little bit.
He's such a system baller, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's such a modern day. Like the fact that he plays out wide for like a top 6 club, it's like it's a crime against the game. Sorry to him. Like that. And the thing is, I feel bad for him because he applies himself.
Yeah, he works hard.
I feel like I genuinely feel like he's a good guy. Obviously, don't know him personally, but you know the type of players you feel like, you know, he wants to do well. He's not like, you know, someone where you're like, I don't know, there's something about you like I kind of dislike, like an Anthony, for instance. But yeah, just realistically for me, he's just such a system baller. Like there's no individualism to him. There's nothing, can Brennan Johnson give me a bit of magic? He'll just sort of like press well, work hard, has a bit of a finish on him, but where's the dribbling? Where's the Where's the passing? There's none of that. And that's why for me, I'm always just like, ugh.
He's better than Werner. That's not saying much.
Yeah, but Werner's the other is the other way. He has something that could
Werner
be a bit
has
special and
something,
just works against himself. He could have left with a hattie today, and it's just here. But anyway, moving past Man United and Spurs, I think the verdict there is United are terrible. Spurs are on the up, and Ten Hag needs to be sacked. So there we go. Cool. By the way, Van de Ven. Excellent.
That was unreal.
That run, and he's a proper centre half.
When he steps on the gas, oh my God.
He's a proper centre half. There was even like another play where Garnacho kind of went through down the right flank. And I'm not even joking. The way Van de Ven ate up that grass to lock off that channel. I've never seen Garnacho look that slow. He's no slouch. But yeah, he's ridiculous, man. I think he's a top talent in this league. But I just thought I'd put something on him. Cole Palmer, 4 goals. This kid is genuinely ridiculous. I'm so sorry. He's genuinely one of the best talents in Europe. And the question I've got to ask is, firstly, I don't know any of you to answer, how good was that performance from him? Not just the 4 goals, the eye test, everything. What are our thoughts?
He's a nice player. He's a joy to watch.
He's a joy to watch.
He makes you fall in love with the game.
Oh, there we go, man.
Magisterial. He's a maverick.
He is, man. He is.
Man. He's a good player. He's bringing that joy back to football. I think we've seen like in the past these 10s in the Prem. They're just missing something.
Brennan Johnson's. Brennan. I don't want to say it, but it's Brennan Johnson, bro.
But even like the Bruno. You know me. I love a Bruno, but you know you want your 10 to be that guy. You think. Yeah, you think of your Maradonas, think of your Totties, that's the type of player I want at 10.
Absolutely. I'm not going to let Palmer's got that old school baller feel about him. Like he goes onto the pitch and off the cuff, he expresses himself.
Socks, like,
I'm watching him. I made a video on my own personal TikTok. I'm like kind of going through the players who, the fact that we've lost a lot of top players can't take free kicks, which is crazy. Like there was a video of Gareth Bale kind of going through all of the players of his time. And I was like, there were so many, and now you go across the top 6, there's not many. Cole Palmer, he whips one in. He's now added that out of nowhere. You look at some of the goals, you look at the way he's expressing himself. Did you guys see that pass he played to Jackson?
That was mad.
Oh my!
There was one.
You know, I watched that. I screamed.
There was one to Madueke as well where he hasn't even looked. He hasn't even seen.
I saw that.
It's like some Ozil type shit, but he's like got 2 times the output that Ozil used to have in terms of goals.
He plays with like no pressure whatsoever. It's like he's just at school in the playground. So it's nothing to him.
He's honestly so good, and the fact that he's broken that record with first 4 goals in a half. First player to score 4 goals in a half, which is mad. Crazy. And he's got like 3 hat-tricks already for Chelsea as well, which puts him in some crazy conversation. So after everything I've laid out here for you, Max, I've got a question for you since Raf took the first one. Is this the hottest attacking talent in England right now? We've got Saka, we've got Foden. Is it Palmer?
Yeah, the baton has passed.
Big words.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, Foden's warming the bench. Foden can't get a start at City when they're in trouble at the minute, and I'm not sure why. And that's something that I'll make a video about soon, about how Foden, he has the room to dip in and out of a City team. Your likes of Palmer and Saka, they are the guy. They have to perform week in, week out. And Palmer's he's naturally a little bit more pleasing than Saka, of course. Got more to his game slightly for me. And just give him, he's the guy. Give him the keys. England, Chelsea, he is the one for me.
Fairs. I can't lie, I agree with you. I actually made a video about that as well. Kind of always, it was a big weekend for football. But for me, Foden, I was already kind of past Foden a couple of years ago just because I feel like he just started to become quite inconsistent. For me, the attacking player I was looking at was Saka. And also on top of that, Foden never performs for England. But right now, I'm with you. I think it's Palmer. I think he's just got more of that I'm him factor, the X factor. He's special with it when he plays. He gets goals and assists. I just think right now that is the attacking talent for England, which is no easy feat because we've got a lot of amazing talents coming through right now.
So I have a question for you. For England at number 10.
Yeah.
Who you going with then?
Cole Palmer, bro.
Over Jude.
I never wanted Jude to play 10 for England. I always felt like Jude was an 8, an advanced 8 at most. I think even when you watch him from Madrid, yes, he scored loads of goals, but if you're talking about leading the team, And like in terms of performance, it was Vinny because he's limited. He's more limited there. He's like a bit of a goal hanger, really. There, like I don't want to disrespect him, but I have to say it. But when Bellingham is like a serious level raiser for your team, is when he plays that 8 position. We saw it in the Super Cup. He was excellent. Remember people watching it and they were like, because a lot of people haven't rated him because they've watched him continuously, and they were amazed when they were seeing it. So I feel like play him in the 8, play Palmer 10, and I don't know, you're going to have to... I'm not going to lie. I say if we're playing 4-2-3-1, drop Rice, because I don't like the idea of Bellingham and Rice together. And I would put, I don't know, maybe Mainu or Adam Wharton there. I think Mainu defensively, I'm a little bit worried about him over recent performance I've seen. So maybe go for Wharton there, and then you play Bellingham 8 and then Palmer 10. I said this a while ago, and people cook me. But realistically, it's the best way to go. Palmer has to play.
You made a good point there.
Palmer has to play.
Certain man has... blood on his hands, Gareth South. Karma will get you.
He didn't get a start.
Didn't start once in the Euros.
It's crazy.
So it's an absolute disgrace. And when he did come on off the bench, he was impacting.
He made a difference, isn't it? Got that goal in the Euros.
He made 2 separate systems in one tournament for Foden. Are you crazy?
That's actually so true.
That is.
Yeah, he did.
From
He did.
blood
He
on
did.
his hands.
And, in that Netherlands game when Foden had his best game in the tournament, it wasn't anything special.
It was rubbish, man.
Yeah, like everyone gassing up Foden. I feel like Southgate bottled that tournament massively, but fuck him.
Fairs. So what's the ceiling for Palmer?
There is none.
Yeah, there is no ceiling.
There
Swear.
is none.
The guys are 1 over. Fairs. And this is a Chelsea boy. We hate Chelsea.
I'm not gonna lie. I see a certain move in his destiny.
We're United.
Yeah,
that's
you see when you look at him, he's got United written all over him.
United fan.
Yeah.
You
Of
see.
the old days, bro. You're not getting that.
Fergie would have got. Fergie would be tapping him up right now, bro. His dad would be over for dinner.
Okay, cool. Moving on to match roundup. So a couple of big stories over the weekend. So City dropped points. First game after Rodri's gone. People are saying that they're a different team now that Rodri's come out of things. Are you buying that, Raph? I saw you shake your head there. You're not.
Yeah, like Rodri makes them tick, I guess. But we've seen this with City before. They've got enough quality that they can get by it, as long as Pep doesn't do too much galaxy brain stuff.
Yeah,
they'll be fine.
No, I agree with you. I think it was just the case. I think Newcastle played quite well. They defended quite well. They were quite compact. They were going away from home. I think it can happen. I didn't really look at it and thought, oh, City look off the mark. I think it's just, one of those games, you get a tough away game against a solid side, right? Like Newcastle aren't on a bad side at all. So I think that was the case. But another kind of little story point from that game I want to ask you. Guardiola. He's kind of different with it, isn't he?
He's decent, man. I think Pep's kind of used him quite differently this season. He's in the box so much, because his finishing is actually really good. I nearly scored a hat-trick.
Both feet in it as well.
Yeah, both feet. It's mad that he was signed as a centre back. I still think his destiny will lie there later on in his career. But yeah, what a player. I did actually want to touch on the other fullback though, Kyle Walker. He was at fault for another goal, and I don't see many people talking about it. At all.
So tell us, what do you...
in this England, if you're on the right side of things, if they like you, they'll like you forever.
No, I rate Kyle Walker as his longevity, fantastic career, whatnot. But
do you think he's coming towards the...
Yeah, massively. And I think you've got the right man in the squad, Rico Lewis, to take over. And I'm not sure why Pep's started in central midfield alongside Kovacic. I'm not sure if that's the right move. I would just... play Rico Lewis.
So you think he should come out of the City side? And then I suppose for England, you think that position should be Trent's then?
He cost us in the Euros, man.
Yeah, he cost us repeatedly.
Like, his recovery runs aren't as good as they used to be. I feel like his positioning has always been
suspect.
And I think now it's showing. He's not as quick off the mark anymore. I think once he gets going, he's still got quite a bit of that pace. But even like Walker was just fast in all facets before, like very quick, can make 3 yards up very quickly. He's not able to do it anymore, and he's looking shaky.
Do you remember him for Spurs? Though? It's not even like for Spurs he was getting down the line, bombing crosses in. He doesn't do that.
Doesn't do that anymore.
What does he actually offer?
Doesn't add a lot.
What does he offer? Recovery runs, which he's actually
that's all he's ever
declining
been.
at.
He's never had any decent level of football IQ to make you think that he can play defense once his physical gifts are gone.
It's time to go, yeah.
It's time to go for him, man.
Yeah.
It's time to go a long time ago, really.
I think it was only the last season. I thought the season before last season. I thought he was decent.
He's been getting away with it for a long time. If you actually watch City, most of the goals they concede, they come from this side.
But I quite like the whole of last season. I was watching. I was thinking, this guy's washed. This guy's washed. But fair enough. Gordon was quite good. What's our thoughts on him? I remember you when he was linked to Liverpool, you didn't mind it.
I really like Gordon. I still think he'll come to Liverpool eventually.
You think so?
Left wing option. Obviously, at the moment,
he signed a new contract though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, at the moment, we've got 2 brilliant left wing options, both in form. But I do think Gordon, Liverpool fan, I think he'll come to us. Obviously, there were massive links in the summer. That deal was nearly done. And he played actually at striker on Saturday as well.
And he did well.
And he done really well, running
adaptable.
Always a threat, just non-stop. I really like him.
Cool. Moving on. So let's I was going to talk about another title race game. I want to talk about something a bit different. We'll come back to Arsenal. McNeil, brace for Everton. 2 good goals. Wow, the first goal was top.
Good goals.
Sean Dyche, is he going to be able to maybe do something special and keep them up? It seems like kind of every season Everton are in trouble and every season they find a way. Are they able to do it again? Because people were saying, I think that's their first win. People were saying that it's going to be the season where Everton are just not going to put it together. What do you think?
God knows they need it because you cannot go down and go into a new stadium.
Yeah.
That is a baptism of fire to say
literally.
Least.
Yeah. And financially, they're not in the best position anyway.
They've never been in the best position, really. I don't know. You know, with Sean Dyche, he's always got a rabbit out the hat to pull, and he's looking like he might just get them off the line. They've got in. This is the thing. When you look at them, you do think to yourself they should have enough. But at the same time, it's just when the mood. It's kind of like similar with United. It's when the mood at a club is so poor for so long, it's hard to kind of rise above that shadow that forms. And Everton are kind of hanging under that cloud, and they've been hanging under that cloud for a little while. So it's one of them ones. It'll be close. It'll be flip a coin type thing.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think there'll just be 3 worse teams than Everton. So
that's normally the case. That's what Joel said as well. There's always 3 worse teams. I look at Southampton. I'm not quite convinced.
Leicester.
Yeah, Leicester. The 3 that have come up, I think they're going to struggle.
Ipswich, actually.
But saying Ipswich, they look good going forward. I still think they're struggling defensively. They're conceding quite a few goals. But today, 2-2 versus Villa, one of the better teams in the league. What were we saying about Ipswich? They got a little something? I'm not going to lie. The Liam Delap.
Yeah.
Man. Did you see that second goal?
Yeah,
step over in the shift.
It's nice.
Yeah. He got a little
That's
something.
That's a player.
I've always liked him though.
He's a unit as well.
Yeah.
That's a player.
Yeah, I like him. I think it'll be a tough place to go to. And then I think they've only lost to Liverpool and Man City. The rest they've drew to.
They've also got a really, really good coach. I know. I feel like Kieran McKennie is one of those I don't want to say uncovered gem. I feel like everyone kind of knows about him, but he just doesn't get a lot of recognition. I don't know if it's because he was...
It's like British, not maybe maybe not as sexy.
Because he was the assistant under Ollie, and Ollie's reign doesn't really get looked at very favourably for whatever reason that can't be bothered to get into.
That'll set you off again, won't it?
Yeah, but no, they've got... Kieran McKennie is probably one of the best coaches in the country, to be honest. And he's probably...
English coaches or in the Premier League?
English coaches. I mean, he's probably one of the better ones in the Premier League. He's better than Eric Ten Hag easily.
Yeah, but Ten Hag's one of the worst. I think we've got to see. I think he's got something. I just think... I don't...
No, he's got more
What do you think he should be like at a top club?
There's definitely a spot for him at United.
Fairs.
I think he's more adaptable than, previous promotion coaches that we've seen. Company.
There's a bit of playing out from the back still.
Yeah. I mean, that led to a goal today, didn't it? That was poor. But they're not as naive as Southampton from what I've seen so far. Southampton are just non-stop and played themselves into all sorts of trouble. Ipswich have got better balance.
Got a better balance to them. Mm-hmm. What in terms of Liam Delap, what do we see for him this season? Could he be one of a YPFA contender? He's got 3 goals already. Some good quality goals as well.
How old is he?
He's 21.
He's young. He's 21.
I'm not sure. I do like all his sort of facilities as a striker, but I think Young Player of the Year might be a bit of a stretch for him. I'll get him in my FPL though, that's for sure.
Fair enough. No, hearing it. Okay, cool. Moving on, let's talk about Arsenal then. They clinch it at the Emirates, another big game in the title race. What are our thoughts on, what do we have here? Oh, Ethan January. He came on, another young player. He kind of changed the game. What's our thoughts on him?
He's a baller, man. He's looking good, isn't he?
I didn't watch the match because it was a 3 o'clock kickoff, and I don't like to break the law.
Of course you don't.
Yes. But the Arsenal fans, they speak very, very highly of him.
Yeah.
So, I'll have a close eye.
Yeah, no, I did watch it. I was unfortunately I do break the law on that count. Forgive me. And no, I think he was really good. He came on. I think he was. I wouldn't say. No, he did kind of change the game a little. He added a little something. He beat a player, took a good shot. But he just looks like a real nice player. He kind of plays he's kind of like a bit of a cam / 8. And it looks like he can kind of adapt to both of those positions. He came on in the 8 position. And he's definitely one I'm going to watch out for. He's one of the kind of the breakthrough stars, like the real early rookies, if we say, that I was looking out for. And I like him, man. I think he can be a top player.
Yeah, Arteta kind of... He's in a bit of a bind with him, I think, because I think with his run initially bringing in kind of Saka, Smith-Rowe, I think he kind of developed this reputation as a coach that kind of brings in young players a lot and maybe unfairly developed that reputation because since then there hasn't been much. And I think the Arsenal fans are kind of, it's been grating at them a little bit.
Oh, that he hasn't brought in as many.
Yeah, I think they see, some of their rivals having success with academy players. They see Mainu, they see Palmer. They get a bit agitated. The Arsenal fans think that should be them. So I think they're in a bit of a bind, and because their midfield's not in particularly great form and they've had some injuries, some suspensions, I think he'll have to give him some game time now. And if he doesn't, I think it says a lot about
I think there'll be
type
some
of coach Arteta is in terms of
there'll be
bringing
some
in
friction
these
if he doesn't. But I do think like some Arsenal fans are getting a bit ahead of themselves. He's 17. I think breaking through slowly.
Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't be like, oh, Nwaneri should be a starter right now. He's a young kid, so I think it takes time when you're 17. I think it's really when you're over 18 that you, unless you're an absolute freak, like I don't know, your Ma, where you're like really ready to start week in, week out for a Premier League team that's going for the title.
But I think Arsenal, that reflects more on Arsenal's squad being sort of so heavily reliant on Ødegaard, as in they've needed to push him through a little bit more because he has the facilities and he's the type of player, creative midfielder. Yeah. If you take Ødegaard out and remove Nwaneri, who's providing any creativity?
It's like that spark, hasn't it? Yeah.
Because they've been playing Trossard 10 and
It's not nice.
I'm not sure about that. He's more of an impact player for me.
No, yeah, more of an impact player. Good at getting goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Not really much else.
Exactly. So I do think they'll need to use him in certain type of games, depending on how long Ødegaard's out for. I'm not sure.
Fair enough. Quickly, how good was Justin's goal? Did you guys see that? Oh my days, it was an absolute banger. Wasn't he just kind of cut across it? Yeah, I mean, if that had been an equaliser, it would have been a goal to certainly kind of shine more light on. But quickly, Liverpool played as well. We've got 2 Liverpool fans here. So quickly, got 3 points again. And where do we sit? At the top of the league.
Feels good, man.
It feels good. Feels good, don't it?
It does
feels nice,
good.
Man. It feels nice.
Where are you?
He doesn't even know. He don't even know. You know, we are 8 points clear of you.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, we're 8 points
got sacked for being 6 points off the top. I just want to let that be known.
You're 8 points clear. Like, essentially, United going for the title is done already, really.
Why are you?
But it's crazy for that to already be done, you know, as being United. But anyway, we're not talking about you. We're talking about Liverpool. Yeah, how you feeling off the back of that game and being top of the league?
Yeah, I feel good. 3 points, 3 points. It was a poor game.
Yeah.
Poor performance, actually, from Liverpool. I thought Wolves were they started really well. We couldn't get a touch of the ball at all.
Yeah, they had like 25 minutes of just kind of had us penned in.
They did. I like Gary O'Neill. I think he's quite a good coach. But after that, we kind of came through it, started dominating the ball a little bit more. Then Szoboszlai had that chance, felt like a goal was coming. Then Konate gets the goal. In the second half, I was pulling my hair out thinking, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, the equaliser is a shambles. Whose fault would you...
I think it's Konate's fault, that equaliser. I think he wasn't switched on enough. And I think he does have that in him a little bit of the bozo gene. But then I also think we saw the best of him as well. Great header. I thought the block that he made, Bellegarde that came through. Oh,
that was unreal.
It's world-class stuff. So I just think with Konate, I think for a while he's kind of come out of things. I think he takes a while to get like warm as well. He gets a lot of injuries. I think if he can stay fit though, I think he can, even though he did make a mistake yesterday, I think he can get himself back into, being one of the best young centre-backs in the league and kind of the next stop after Van Dijk kind of comes up to be one of the best. So I'm still encouraged by it, but he just needs to just iron that out a little bit out of his game.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I kind of felt like the second half was a bit too easy for us. So.
I see you. I see you frowning there. Are you not convinced by Konate?
A lot of ifs there. A lot of big ifs there.
But are you not convinced by Konate? Is that why you're?
I think he's got like great physical traits. But I just don't think, again, he's really got much in terms of football IQ. And I think as a defender, he relies on his physical traits, which isn't necessarily the best thing. And he gets injured a lot.
So you don't think Konate can be a top player? Is that what you're saying? You don't think he can be world class?
No, I don't think he'll ever reach that top level. He'll never be like, no. I don't think he's in that conversation with like the Salibas of the world and whatnot. No, never. And then I think his injury record at this point, it's just like, you give up on him as a player, man. What's the point?
Wow.
He's never had more than 18 leagues.
Starts, he hasn't. No, interesting for you to say that when your club has Lissandro Martinez at the back, but fair enough. We'll invite opinions from. No. We're comparing a good player and trash. That's actually what we're doing. But
Bozo for Bozo. Is this what we're doing?
But we'll hear all opinions, no matter how wrong they may be.
He reminds me of Eric Bailly.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, man.
Bailly was a good player.
No, he was next level, like clumsy.
Yeah.
No, he was similar, I get, in like physical.
Yeah.
But Konate is physically superior.
Yeah.
And also, he's not as much of a bozo as Eric Bailly. Come on, stop it. Bailly had a couple screws loose.
He did.
But anyway, one player that did play well, I want to do like a bit of a positive and a negative on Liverpool. I'll let you do the positive. I'll do the negative because there's someone I need to speak on. But one player that did do well and has been doing well was Ryan Gravenberch.
Yes, man.
What's your
He's the
thoughts
only
on it?
player who played well yesterday.
Yeah, literally.
And he's 5 man of the matches out like 7 games. This guy is. I love this. I love watching him play. He's so good, man. Basically in there on his own at times in the midfield, just give me the ball, lending it, dribbling. Did you see his dribble? Cutting free. He's got a bit of everything and off the ball.
Off the ball is a new level this season. He's winning duels, intercepting, always on the top of the charts over all of those games where he's been man of the match. For me, I just feel like him coming into that position, after we didn't get the 6 again this window. Slot said that, he didn't feel like Endo was the player for him. They went into the market. We didn't get Zubimendi. 3rd summer in the row, not getting someone. And they said that they wouldn't invest. I feel like all of us Liverpool fans were like, we were in the abyss. We were like, again, we're going to see, we're not going to be able to challenge him. For Gravenberch to come out like this and be the player that he has been. I mean, I'm over the moon, man. I was just there, just sitting down there, just thinking about it, thinking, bro, I think he's going to be the best 6 in the league this year. He's
one of the players of the season.
I genuinely think he's going to be, because obviously Rodri's out. I don't see a 6 across the league who's going to be the level he is. He's a revelation.
It's an easy conference, that one, isn't it?
No, but honestly, he's so impactful. I just can't wait till I think we're still going to see it because I think the biggest club that he's played against is United, and we've seen them. It's not really, it's not really something. So I think we see him against a real midfield and see what he can do. But I think he'll step up to the task.
Yeah, and I think the negative is another midfielder. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah. Szoboszlai.
Bro. Baby KDB.
We said Handsome Henderson. No?
Bro, that's what he is, man. Bro, I know, it's so sad. Szoboszlai.
What happened?
From baby KDB to Handsome Henderson.
Who called him baby KDB?
It was me. I know, an absolute shocker. One thing I will say is I said he's baby KDB apart from the passing. Now listen, I know that's obviously a big thing. I was gassing up my guy. Now listen, that passing though, hey, Szoboszlai, he's stinking it up in there. And the thing is, right, because that game against Wolves, I didn't see a hint of slot football possession-wise, like not whatsoever. And I think he's the big thorn in the side right now. I think, to be fair, Salah's not really played well either, continuously, but Salah is someone that there's trust and a lot of credit in the bank. I'm looking at Szoboszlai now, and I'm just thinking, you as a 10 is a crime to football right now in terms of the distribution.
Wow.
No, bro, because if we're talking about the beautiful game, passing, playing in between the lines, connecting play,
It's not happening.
he can't do it. He's adding a lot off the ball, pressing. But bro, this is he can't play, bro. But this is Liverpool. Do you know what I'm saying? We're trying to go for titles this year. Unfortunately, working off the ball and applying yourself very well. Yeah, that's nice, but it ain't good enough. I need to see that quality, and at the moment he's playing against us. I'd just rather see Jones in there or something. Just play Jones in there for now. I'm hoping when Harvey Elliott comes back from his injury, he can slot in there. I remember you had big things to say about him at the start of the season. Hasn't really got.
Yeah, it hasn't. But I think my point's kind of been proven in the sense that there's games that we need Harvey Elliott in terms of decision making. Szoboszlai's decision making.
Oh
my God.
Bro, I saw one clip. Did you see that clip that's kind of gone viral of like the amount of counterattacks he's messed up for us?
Oh yeah, this season the amount of times he's running at a back four. There's space. There's like 4 options. Always the wrong
option. Nah, I can't watch this cross-country runner play in my team no more, man. I'm sorry. I think he should be developed as like a winger or something, and maybe a 10 last 20 minutes comes on, keeps it going with the pressing. Or to be honest, he should be developed as a right wing back, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't you think it's a bit of a worry because we played him obviously a bit deeper last season, and then a lot of Liverpool fans were like, get him in the 10, and then he's moved to the 10. Move him elsewhere.
I knew it wasn't going to work though.
Yeah. Did you?
No, it's from when he started to kind of deteriorate as an 8.
Somebody told me that they watched him play against United in Europe. And based off that, it was a done deal.
No, when we got him, I was excited about him.
This was the bank.
No, but he had a lot. He has a lot. No, the thing is, he has a lot of good traits. I did not expect him to have no IQ in terms of his passing, and I still think there is a player there. I just think he needs to come out of the side for a while. I was a bit harsh on him. I don't think he's an Ugarte.
No.
You know what I mean? I think
he's still a good game.
Yeah, no, he's still a good game.
He can do stuff with it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's rapid. He works so hard. He's got the ball striking, but I just think he needs to come out of the side. He needs to slow it down. I just don't think we should be dependent on him right now. And that 10 position is really important. So I think he needs to come out for somebody else. Yeah. But anyway, do we have any more roundup topics? I had a little bit one on Mbeumo, but I think it's better that we move on to our bonus topic as we haven't got long.
If he had a lace front, he'd be worth 70 mil.
Bro, that was my point with Mbeumo. Like, this guy, he's striking, and I think it's the fact that he looks like he's 34, even though he's 24. And if he looked younger, you just give him some braids or something like that. You know what I'm saying? If he got himself a little chance, but I'm telling you, clubs would be in for him. But I think
he needs a loan to Galatasaray.
I'm thinking these chief. That was good. But I think these chief scouts, they keep on looking at him, just it's a good little player, but he's kind of coming towards the end of his career. I couldn't believe that he was 24. I found it out like a year ago. I genuinely thought he was like 29.
I'm sure the scouts know how old he is.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm just joking. But I genuinely thought he was like 29. Has done years in like the lower divisions, and that's kind of like,
I thought he'd be like a journeyman.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I also thought he was British. I remember when he spoke, he was French. I was like, what the fuck?
This makes sense now.
Yeah, but anyway, bonus topic. So let me ask the question. Shall we want to attach the bonus topic to the bib now? So I don't know who wants to take it. So basically, individualism in football is deteriorating as we've seen, and this next crop, when we're looking at the Palmers, the Yamals, the Jude Bellinghams, can it come back? Can we get individualism back in football? Because these guys, they're looking like they've got a little something outside of system football they haven't seen from the last crop of top players. So who wants to answer that?
You can take that.
I'm going to take that. Go on, Raph. Is it coming back?
Yeah, man, the beautiful game might be coming back. As we know, we had few managers tried their hardest to ruin the game as we know it. I'm not gonna make jokes about them having no hair because life comes at you fast, innit? But certain managers, the Peps, your Artetas of the world, they have to put this on.
No, it's fine.
They've tried their hardest to ruin the game. But it's come with great success. But I think as with everything, I think football shows you this more than anything. Everything comes in waves, and everything, comes in stages. Yeah. Trends peak and they trough. And obviously, when you look at kind of what was always going to be the only way or the best way to kind of counter such inflexibility and rigidity, is kind of that individual Mavericks, dribbling essentially, kind of just unsettling a back line that's settled just through pure chaos. Yeah, man, and it does look like there's a crop of players in that kind of 17, 18 to 22 range that
Jude, Hendrick, Palmer,
and I think it might
Yamal, I think is a huge one where you just you see the joy of the game and the way that he plays.
I think it might be a generational thing as well. I think a lot of people say about these Gen Zs or whatever you want to call them that they're very like a daisical in life. They're very nonchalant. They don't seem to care. They don't really have much of a plan for the future, and maybe that's not good for most people. But on the pitch, it works a wonder. It genuinely does.
So you do think it's coming back, and do you think that's a good thing for the game? To ask you, Max,
100%. Like we touched on Palmer, we've missed these types of players, man. Just creative freedom, playing off the cuff. I think of players who made you fall in love with football, like Ronaldinho, even like Omri, players like that. I actually think that's what's happening with Chelsea fans. I think they're falling back in love again with their team, with football because of Palmer mainly.
Yeah.
So it's a huge thing. You want to enjoy watching your team play and enjoy watching those star players play. So yeah, I think hopefully it'll come back.
Well, one more question, Raph, if you could pass the bib to Max. We've got a big question for him. So I think you spoke earlier and you said that you feel like Palmer is the top talent in the Premier League. And I would say if we're looking worldwide, I mean, in Europe, really, because that's where obviously the main talents lie. I would say the others are Jude and Yamal. Are we putting Palmer in that conversation with those two?
Talent-wise, yes. I mean, statistically, he's probably up there, isn't he?
Yeah,
he probably is.
Yeah.
But I think
Cole Palmer is as good as Lamine Yamal and Jude Bellingham.
Good. I say he's
talent-wise, he's
in the
as
conversation.
Good.
Yeah, 100%.
He's in the conversation with Lamine Yamal and Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, why not?
I
think
I don't. What's Yamal? Don't get me wrong, great player, but what's he done to suggest that he should be in the stratosphere ahead of Cole Palmer?
Yeah, have you watched him?
No, yeah, but
I can't lie, his talent is ridiculous.
So is Cole Palmer's.
Yeah, definitely. But he's 17, Lamine Yamal.
No, for sure. But Cole Palmer's out here in 20, 30 goals in the Prem. It's no mean feat.
No, it's not. And the assists as well. I agree with both of you, man. I just asked the question. I think Cole Palmer's right up there. I think genuinely this is a hell of a talent. And I would have him up there with Jude Bellingham, with Lamine Yamal. Listen, I think Lamine Yamal is probably the most talented when I factor in his age, but I think he's in the conversations because obviously talent is, it hasn't got substance to it. But when you're looking at what Cole Palmer's doing,
what's the next step for him then?
Well, Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, maybe. Obviously, Chelsea they've got a lot of young players. They can kick on, but realistically, he needs to be going into challenging for titles, Champions Leagues. So if Chelsea don't qualify for the Champions League this season, he needs to start thinking about whether this is where he needs to be. But if they do, then it's just kind of taking Chelsea to as far as be the main man, taking them to as far as where he can. Obviously, really needs a title, and if he can't do that, he needs to go elsewhere and keep on doing his thing.
And he'll be the face of that Chelsea rebirth.
Rebirth, yeah.
So I mean, fair play. There's a lot of comparisons, Chelsea fans. We've got our Hazard back, that type of player, and just love watching players like that.
Hear it completely. Well, yeah, man, a really good week on the Rondo. Lots discussed. United in peril yet again. It's almost getting boring, man.
No, facts, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
Sack the manager. Give us something else to talk about.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, United big game, get stripped.
Do you know what I mean?
Like it's like, come on. It's almost getting like, I'm a Liverpool fan and I really do enjoy seeing you guys in the pits, but it's like, give us something else. Win once in a while. But anyway, that's the Rondo for you. Like, subscribe, and all of that lovely stuff. We'll catch you again next week, as always.
Peace.